Hello. It's day 10, full of energy. Last night was our second rain night, and today we should have showers on and off with possible thunderstorms, I believe, all throughout the day and night. So I think today will be the first true test of our rain gear, but I don't know, hopefully not. I'm not really ready to walk in the rain all day.
No.
You know, when you pitch on slopes, Z-Pack's tent, you just need to be careful with sliding down, because if you slide down and push on a tent sidewall, you'll make it to where water can flow in. And last night, since I knew it was gonna rain, I pitched it really tall, so the bathtub floor was really high, and it was like we were barely on the slope. It was pretty nice, wasn't it? It was pretty flat for the most part, but it's still a little slope, you know. But I usually put my clothes bag down by my feet, because I figured if that pushes, it'd get that wet and not my quote. Well, I woke up in the middle of the night and I just, put my hail lamp on just to check, and my clothes bag was pushing the tent in a way that it was letting water in, and I had my pump up sack was down there, and it was just funneling the water in. So, but I noticed, Amy had slid down too, but she didn't have her clothes back down there. It was just her sleeping pad, and it pushed up in a way to where it didn't let any water in on her side. So I'm gonna switch my clothes bag up to near my head, the upslope side. So I think that should fix that. I brought that car chamois to dry out the tent. That thing was golden. Middle of the night when I woke up, I soaked up all that water, all the water that was like on my quote. I dried it all up so fast, so easily. That thing was gold. Would not get rid of that. I don't know if Amy said it or not, but I went way overboard in the food. I still have enough. We have one more day after today. We have one more day left, and I still probably have like a solid 3 to 4 days worth of food. So the first time I went with too little food, and this time I had too much. So the next one should be better. My legs started hurting yesterday. Blame it on trail magic. Somebody said there's trail magic up ahead. So I started speeding up down the mountain. Then I started feeling like a burning on the outside of my leg, and it's been really tight. I've been stretching it. Hopefully that goes away.
This is what the trail looks like today. Wet, green, and beautiful, of course. It's gonna be a good day, despite the rain. Okay, 2 bits of advice for you. If you get to camp and your water source is a ways away,
Quarter mile.
maybe like 0.3, 0.5, whatever. Even though it's been raining here and most of the water sources are running pretty good, it doesn't mean that the one near your camp is very deep or running really well. So for us, I have to fill up our 2-liter water bladder for each of us. So that means 4 liters of water for us when we get to camp, so that we'll have enough water for that night and then in the morning. My advice would be to bring a scoop.
Oh yeah. Excuse me.
I'm recording this way.
Oh, I'm over here.
Yeah.
To whoever said I didn't need a water scoop, I've used it twice.
Yeah, and I could have used it
Yesterday.
at least twice on my own now. It was hard to get water yesterday. Took forever. John had the tent set up. He probably would have had the sleep system set up if the tent had been a little wet.
Yeah.
And he was cooking dinner, so all that time it took me to collect water.
The tent was soaked. And I opened it all up so the breeze would dry it out, and I dried it all the way out with the chamois. Worked really good.
Yeah. So he likes the chamois, and I'm telling you to bring a water scoop. Okay, another tip I have for y'all is the past 2 nights it's been really foggy when we got to camp, and if you're like me and you have to wake up during the night to go to the bathroom, even with your headlamp it can be really hard to see. So just be cognizant of where your tent is and the direction of the trail, because not last night but the night before we were pretty much tent set up by ourselves, and it was hard to find the tent because we were the only tent out there. Last night there were multiple tents, but it was still hard to find our tent, and I actually almost went into someone else's tent. I mean, I came pretty close to it, and then I realized it wasn't our tent, and then still had some issues finding ours, even though it was like right next door to that one. So just be aware of where you are, especially in the middle of the night when you're half asleep. It can be hard, easy to lose your way. Already fallen once.
As Nothing Fancy would say, harsh conditions, dudes. You done?
Yeah.
$100-mile mark.
So we are officially over 100 miles in, and it feels so good to say that. This is great. John, how do you feel?
Amazing.
He feels amazing.
Well, in spirit.
In spirit.
I feel like crap physically.
Physically, he feels like crap. I didn't know all this. I guess we'll talk about that later. Anyways, yep. 100 miles in, going to Long Branch Shelter tonight. And then tomorrow, we've got 7 miles to Winding Stair Gap, where we're gonna stay at, is it Gooders Grove? Gooders Grove Hostel tomorrow night. We don't really need to resupply a whole lot because we did kind of go overboard on the food this past time. But I need to do some laundry and maybe see if they have a smaller hip belt at Outdoor 76. I'm not sure if they even carry them, but anyways, need to check on a few things, and I want to eat some real food. So what does Ivy Tat say? I'm on vacation. Yeah. I'm on vacation.